What is going on, everybody in the house? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up.
What is going on? What is going on? It is a very blurry day here. There we go. That's better. That was weird. Blurry day here. There we go. That's better. That was weird. Sorry. It's having a little trouble on my logo today. Sorry. It's having a little trouble on my logo today. Sorry. It's having a little trouble on my logo today. Sorry. All right. Let's try it over here and see if it gets any better. Hopefully. We'll see. All right. Let's try it does not like me today, man. Hopefully. This is some trash. It does not like me today, man.
You can see me closer.
Hopefully. This is
All right.
trash.
That's a little better. There we go.
Like me today, man.
I think.
All right.
You got hairs.
See, now you can see all the details. And you can see all my gray hairs, so you guys can talk trash about my gray hair. Double audio again. And you can see all my gray hairs, so you guys can talk trash about my gray hair. Double audio again. And you can see all my gray hairs, so you guys can talk trash about my gray hair. All right, that should do it. I keep thinking I'm closing up this thing, and it's not closing. So we should be good now. I don't even know why it's feeding audio through. It doesn't even make any sense. All right, let me move some stuff around so I can see all the comments. And I'm just glad we caught it early enough. It's funny, though, because shouldn't the audio, it should have been double while we were going through the intro song. Remember the intro song? I'm looking at the comments. I'm sitting at my desk. I don't see one person saying, hey, the audio's doubled. You guys always wait until I start the show, and then I start talking, and then now there's an audio problem. Help me help you. Help me help you. That's what I need. Help me help you. Anyway, we have a late start today because I had some meetings before, not to mention my daughter. I had a meeting for my daughter's school. It's neither here nor there. It's fine. We're all good. I'm sorry. I'm reading comments as we go. So we had a late start. The question is always, do you need to be on the call? You know, I had a school call with the teacher, which is all good. It's not bad stuff. And as I'm sitting on this call before we even started it, my wife's like, we need to get on this call. I'm like, why do we need to get on this call? I'm pretty sure you can handle this, and I trust you. You can deliver the information. There's probably nothing on here that I need to be on. Wives love for you to just be there. I want you to hear it. I want you to hear what they say. Why? Do you think that I think that you're lying to me? Wives are funny like that. They're funny. I'm going to dim this logo a little bit because it's looking a little bright. Said I'm going to dim. I'm pressing the wrong button. There we go. That's better. That's better. Okay, so the wives like to show us off. You guys are screaming things like we don't know. We know there's a new Serato update. We know Tidal is now, and it's not a Serato update. Come on, it's just opening up stems again for Tidal. It's not very. I stopped doing the update to every single thing that comes out. I'm just over that. It's not, we as DJs have to do a better job of doing our research. And I know a lot of you guys on here, you guys do your research. So I'm not saying that that's you, but in general, we as DJs have to do better at doing better research. And by the way, this show is going to go until no later than 1:45 because I have another call at 1:45. The reason why I say this is because I was on the Serato page. And hold on, let me see if I can pull it up here. I was on the Serato page where they announced stems. And here are the questions that have come out. All right. They did this 22 hours ago. There's 134 questions. DJ Stunna, again available. Is that correct? So, don't need to use an older version anymore? Select Jonathan. When will Spotify be integrated? It's DJ Ack. When can you record a set with Tidal? I'm having a hard time. I'm doing my best to not be an asshole. I'm doing my best, but there are so many more of these comments, so many more of these questions that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that I've been overestimating the intelligence of humanity. It's not just DJs. I mean, you go on IG or TikTok and you see some of the questions that come out. I mean, they're just some stupid questions, like legitimately stupid questions. And I'm having a hard time. Talking to people, because sometimes I literally want to say, I don't know. Did you even go to the website? Did you even read the specifications, the requirements? Did you go to Tidal? Did Tidal tell you what you needed to do? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's no stupid questions, just stupid people. You know, I don't know who created that whole, there's no such thing as stupid questions, because I think that's wrong. There are stupid questions. They do exist. Just because it's in your brain doesn't mean it needs to come through your mouth. Sometimes you might want to go, you know what, before I say this, maybe there is an answer. Maybe there's an answer somewhere. Let me go and Google real quick. I don't mind answering questions. I really don't. I mean, that's why we're on this show. It's a DJ show. I don't mind that. I just have a problem. They come out on the keyboard. Is it what it is? Stupidity comes out on the keyboard? Is that the thing? Like in your head, it sounds real smart and you start typing it out and you just come off sounding like a buffoon. By the way, thank you guys for the sorry. This is, as you guys know, the reason why I do this show at 10 o'clock in the morning is because usually between 10 and 12, I have more of a window. Like, not all the clients are up my butt asking me questions, but I didn't want to not do the show today. I don't think it's fair to you guys as viewers to have a show missed. Now, that's not an ego thing. That is just a consistency thing. I think it's important to be consistent. And if I'm going to not do a show, there should be a reason. I always tell my wife, I'm like, don't book things on Thursdays. Don't do that. And it just so happens that, like, the last 2 times I've had to cancel was because, you know, my kid's school, you know, we're trying to get him into LMU. So we've had to go there for walkthroughs and all that stuff. It can be a lot. I'm not going to put that all on her. So I know that that's not the thing. Today it was the same thing. I had a parent teacher conference on Zoom. Nothing I could do about it. That was the time they had available. That's what we worked through. Okay. So welcome everybody. Why is my son texting me? Sorry. Anyway. Okay. Let's see some comments in the chat here. Let's see if we have any questions that I can answer. We'll start from the bottom. Not being in the right headspace is a reason to not do the show. Nah, I don't know. I don't know, John. I think that as a professional, which I consider myself to be, you can adjust. It may not be perfect. You know, you might be a little more hypersensitive to people phrasing they use and words they use, but in general, I don't think that's a problem. I think if you're a professional, you should be able to handle it. You know, there's been some times where I've been annoyed and I've let it show, but in general, I think I'm good enough to handle that. Okay. So let's see here. DJ Damone, I want to blend a song on one side and scratch on another. Do you play 4 decks or record the set just learning on the flex? Well, if you're okay, so you're saying you want to blend. So essentially you're blending 2 songs, one on one side, one on the other, and you want to scratch. You don't need 4 decks. You need 3 decks. There is a way kind of around it. It's a little trick that you can do, and that is by going into Serato and using your sampler. So yeah, let me see if I can pull it up here. Where is my Serato? Oh, that's right. I have betas. All right, let me pull up Serato. It's gonna take a second, and then we'll come back to your question. I have not updated to new Serato yet. I mean, I guess I could do it right now, but whatever. Okay, we'll come back to that question, and I'm gonna do this. Let's see if this works. Pen. You can. I love that I can pen questions. I need to start using that more. Okay. Jose says, what controller do you reach for if you are going to focus on stems? Good question. I reach for anything that has dedicated stems buttons specifically. So that means I reach for the Rev 7. That means I reach for the Rain 4. I mean, even the T7 has a pretty good stem section. I mean, they have an acapella and instrumental that's kind of already set there, and then you can go into the pads. But like, I think that's what's new in 3.2. Why are they showing me this? Anyway, I think that those are the ones I go for. If I have to remap using the Serato option to remap, I tend to not use those as much. Let me pull it up, which means I need to go to a quick commercial. So sit tight for half a second. Yo, I just booked my first wedding. Yeah? Dope. When is it? Next week. Can you believe it? Next week. Okay. Do you have any gear? Yeah. I have 2 12-inch speakers. Okay. Well, you might want to rent or borrow somebody's sub. Okay. All right. That's cool. What about microphone? You have a microphone? Well, I mean, I have a corded microphone. Yeah. Again, you might want to go out and rent or borrow somebody's wireless microphone. Okay. A week from now is pretty quick. Do you have all the music? Do you have everything they need? I have some music, but I have like my SoundCloud streaming service, and if I need to, YouTube. How much are they paying you? Bro, 6 hours plus the ceremony, $300. Oh, you're good. Yeah? Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. Have a good time. Sweet. Thanks, man. Okay. So back to Serato. Let me find log pay through. Okay. So, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to make my audio accessible. Okay. So let's change the audio here to my Rodecaster. Hopefully it works correctly. Let's see, anybody hearing anything? Let me know in the chat if you're hearing anything. Probably not. Let's try this. I know it's on one of these. I'm assuming that's the one. Can you guys hear that? Okay, cool. All right. So let's do this. That over. Okay. So okay. Now, probably helps for me to be able to hear the same thing. So make the audio available through here too, and hopefully it'll do both. No, it won't, because I'm plugged in via USB. So I need a controller of any kind. Okay. And another USB-C. Too many USB-Cs in this world, people. Too many USB-Cs in this world. Yo, I just booked my first wedding.
Yeah.
Mobile DJ, that's you. Do yourself a favor. Get yourself some battery-powered stuff. Now, I'm not talking about getting big battery-powered backup. What I'm really talking about here is get yourself some battery-powered components. This weekend, rainy season in California, we are doing our party. Power goes out. Kids are sad. Kids are crying. They got to go home soon because there's no lighting in there. But we had brought some wireless battery-powered uplights. Some Mackie Thumb Go's. My microphone could have been wired, but I had my X5 wireless XLRs. The Mackie Thumb Go is Bluetooth. I set my Serato to Bluetooth to the Mackie Thumb Go, and then I DJ'd right from there. DJing with Bluetooth is so tough. 30 minutes later, the lighting came back on. My equipment came back on. We were rocking like it never stopped. Get yourself some battery-powered stuff. It can save your life. Sorry, peeps. So I have been taking more stuff to the office so I can do more physical reviews with stuff that clearly won't fit in this office. So if you guys didn't notice the B-Topper video that I just did, it required more space. And if I'm doing like speaker shootouts, it's nice to be able to do it at the warehouse because, again, it requires more space. And I can be louder than I can at my own house. Okay. All right. So and of course, I can't hear a thing. So we'll get the audio up for that in a second. All right. So while we are doing that, okay. So normally this will go faster, but it's not. And I'm not going to send you to another commercial. So my other headphones, my V-Modas, which are normally in here. There they are. Since I've been working on the rotary mixer, I've been throwing headphones everywhere. So for most people out there, I know you guys have like 1 or 2 headphones. Maybe you have, maybe 2 or so. I have like 6, and which isn't a flex that you think it is. What I mean is, I keep my V-Modas in my truck as a backup for I forgot my in-ears. So now I need to go do that. So they're in my car. I'm not gonna go get them. I'm gonna rock these. And then we will get back to answering questions. We have a limited time here, like I said. We're here till 1:45. And then we are out of here. I can probably just use this. Let's see if it works properly. And then we will go from there. This would be great if this worked the way it's intended. Ow! 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 Why is the volumes on maximum? The hell? I'm gonna burn my ears out. All right. Okay. Let's get all this stuff leveled out correctly. All my trims and stuff. All right, now I'm not getting any audio. I assume you guys are not hearing that. So let's move this over. Now it should be able to make it offline. Yep, use laptop speakers. There we go. Okay. Okay, so here, we'll get something that makes more sense. All right. So let's say, for instance, all right, there we go. Ooh, that's not going to work. So let's say, for instance, you got this truck running and okay, so you got this truck running. You're going to bring in another truck. Let me find one real quick. And all these songs suck for what I'm trying to do here. That works. Okay. So we got both of these up. I know these aren't in the right key. And I know you key police are going to get on my ass. So there's one. So these are both playing together. If you go into your sampler, yeah, which is this one, you can take like this track right here, and then you can pull it in and see, and you still have your audio playing. So you got both of them. They're in key because the sync is on. So now you can take another track. And obviously you can increase your sampler volume somewhere. See? Still playing. And that's probably the most simple way that you can do it. And then when you're done, you know, you can obviously just turn your sample off and be done with it when you want to. Something like that is the easiest way to do 3-deck mixing without having to really, like, you know, have to have that third channel. And that's one of the reasons why I always, you know, tell people, they're like, I need 4 decks. Where you're like, no, technically you need an auxiliary deck. And then you just need the ability to scratch or do whatever on the other one. So let me see if I can, I'm not doing obviously monetized music, so that makes it a little harder. Yes, the S11 is the best for that, but a lot of people don't have, you know, a $2,000 mixer. So this is their other option. So here, let's see if we can do something real quick. This is going to be real half-ass, but that's okay. Okay. Okay, these two might work. But I need a vocal. Okay, so we'll use this one. All right, we'll send that to the prepare folder and we'll come back to it. All right. Okay, this might work. So okay. All right. So that's going. Bring that back in. Hopefully have enough time.
Transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out
You should have all of them. See?
When I'm performing, never boring. Now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, finished frames on my face, looking like I'm from the deep. These no Cartiers, pockets deep, 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 bro. I can make it in my sleep, bro. Do you, I'm doing me, bro. Making noise, use a beat. Whoa, that money clip I started new now looks like. Whoa, upgrade her diamonds, now her governments are like. Whoa, 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 whoa. Neighborhood on the scene, neighborhood on the strip. Neighborhood no crib, neighborhood that's me. Neighborhood do the dance, neighborhood do the deal. Okay. Thought I'd never make it like no way. I'm the real deal, no role play. My days off, that's no days. No, I hustle hard, young rose. EB the shooter, that's cold case. Those on the deals, that's brose. Got no pay, don't no say. Okay, this the new tell them read it. Been the one since the fetus. Don't sleep on me, Tempur-Pedic. That's a no, no, no. Spending dope for no reason. Got a ball head, Mr. Cleaner. Put the big bags overseas then.
Anyway. That's what I'm talking about. Something like that. Serato face. Anyway. It's okay to have Serato face when you're literally creating on the fly. That's okay. So something like that is how I would do it. Especially if you know you're going to try to be creative. But yes, as Max said, you know, obviously, yeah, doing a deck move and putting them all on one. Even the Rev 5 has that now too, and the S11. You know, those are great. At some point, I'm hoping that the deck move comes to the Rev 7. I had hopes that it was, but hit him with the air horn. I don't even have an air horn. I don't have an air horn on my system here. Why? Because I don't use the air horn. I don't. Scratch Bank wouldn't work in this respect because Scratch Bank will replace the file. So that doesn't help you. It helps you if you're just trying to quickly get to something, but you still are only going to be using 2 decks at the same time. So you absolutely need to have the sampler work for you. But the Scratch Bank, for a lot of people, they don't even realize, you know, they're in the Scratch Bank and they're only using the Scratch Bank for just to kind of load their scratch point, literally the scratch point, but they don't realize that like you can put in there in your banks, especially with Scratch Bank, you can have multiple banks. So all of these can be songs, and then you go to the next bank and then you have more songs. So you can, in essence, I don't know that I would do it per se, because I would get confused, but in essence, you can really have all of your songs just almost kind of queued up in there. So if you're doing like a routine or something, then yeah, especially if you're doing like a performance routine or competition, that's Scratch Bank. That Scratch Bank when used properly and on the right system, because I have noticed not all Scratch Banks are built the same. Strangely enough, depending on the controller you use, sometimes there's a hair delay in initiating Scratch Bank for some unknown reason. So sometimes it doesn't work the way I want it to, but still, I mean, like there's a Scratch Bank in here, which I can't do because it'll probably pop something. Oh no, there we go. Cleveland Rocks is right there.
That money clip us got a moon that looks like him.
That's right. I didn't set it on here.
Her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like
And then Scratch Bank.
Cleveland rocks.
You see that?
Cleveland
You see that space?
rocks. Cleveland rocks.
You hear that? There's a space that's not here, but there is a delay when I do it on this particular board. It is just all boards are not created equally. It is what it is. You just learn from your board and you learn the subtle delays from that. Rain performer better have deck move. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. It's got them split, but I don't think at the current time that it has deck mode. No, I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, basically a producer on the fly. Exactly. Okay, let's see here. Sig310 says, just received my Rev 7. Been hearing I need to replace the slip mats. Any suggestions on slip mats? There's a ton. DJ Lyrics has slip mats that are really, really good. So you can find him on both on TikTok and on IG. I have some somewhere around here. I keep throwing stuff around. I'm trying to clean up my office, and I know this sounds stupid and weird. I'm trying to get rid of as much equipment that I do not need. That's what I'm trying to get rid of. So I'm trying to send stuff back. I'm just getting rid of stuff. I'm sick of seeing it. I love my job. I love doing everything, but I'm sick of seeing all. More importantly, I'm not sick of seeing equipment. I'm sick of seeing equipment that I don't use, just kind of sitting around. I want to settle on things that I love, and then I just want to keep using those. There is obviously a reason for certain things, like for instance, the Rev 1 here, that's right here, oh, that's right. I'm using a different. That's as close as I can get. The Rev 1 is a great deck. So is the Rain 4. That I pulled up before. This is a great deck too. But I don't need them both. I don't need them both. So one is going to end up going back. It's probably going to be the Flex 4 that's going to go back, in all honesty. And the only reason why is because the paddles. That's the issue. I want to buy your S5. I don't have an S5, Jose. Don't have one. S5 went back literally like 2 days after. A lot of times when I get gear, I get it right before the embargoes left, and typically there's like a conference or a showcase or NAMM or something like that, and then they need all that equipment back. It's better when you get it when there's nothing going on, because then they don't need it back, or don't need us back as quickly. Okay. So let's see here. Wow, I never knew this. I got to try. See, man, that's Cleveland Terry Show. Want to show you stuff. DJ Damone, you've been awesome so far. Hands-on approach. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. How do you get this program on YouTube and share both your Serato and video? I have many video cards. So not that you can see it here. And I can't pull it up because it's not long enough, but I have a Live Pro. I have a Live Pro 4-channel video card that I can move around with. I have my dedicated video card for my camera. All this stuff is going into this computer back here. And then I have just different angles. I got my overhead cam, which is also one. In the overhead cam, I have the Live Pro. So all my stuff is feeding into this one 4-channel box. And in this 4-channel box, I have my overhead cam, the computer cam, and I actually have 2 more spaces to do other things. So a lot of options. And when you're doing stuff like this, it's kind of important. I really should have changed my lens before I started it because this lens is way too tight. As a matter of fact, I will do that right now. See if I can do it quickly now. That's better. Dark, but better. Change the aperture here. Now you can see all my dirt. There we go. This cord goes to my computer. I got lots of stuff. This, I have no idea why this is even here. Oh, that's right. The cleaning crew came. So that's a little better. I have a computer under here. Don't ask me why it's on here. I had to move it over from my computer. So we'll clean it up a little bit, make it look a little better. Just so when people come back, they're not questioning so much. Okay. There we go. Out of sight, out of mind. All right, so let's answer some more questions. J Style Sounds in the building. What's going on? DJ Civil, DJ K. I saw DJ Kenny. What's happening? Thank you, DJ K. Appreciate that. Yeah. So as you can see, things like that. I have like 3 more videos, light videos that I need to do, and I'm going to do those from the studio. It's just easier. It's harder to really talk about I can't stand mover light videos where people don't actually show the lights working, because that's the whole purpose of seeing a light video, is to see the lights. I don't care about how the fixture looks, although the fixture, the way it looks, I guess it's important, but that's not important to me. What the lighting can do is important to me. Okay. Not enough. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Matthew, welcome to Team Cleveland Terry. I guess I will allow you to talk trash since you are a member of the team. By the way, anybody can become a member. Just hit that join button or hit that member button, depending on what device or computer you're on. And it's like buying me a cup of coffee just to support what it is that I do on a monthly basis. You know, this stuff does take time, does take dedication, does take work. So I appreciate anything that you guys can help do. Also, there's super chat. Don't forget about the super chats. I know some people don't want to do memberships, but the super chats work just as well too. Thank you. I've said my spiel. Okay. EQ is a sign of awesome and doing it. Okay. How about adding Korg Nano Pad and map the stem buttons? Yeah, you can do that. But again, this is a me thing. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Like I said, I have several XP1s. I have like 5 NanoPad controls and the Korgs and all those things and the Akais. My thing is, and it's simple, and I know it's stupid because right back there's a box that says Dicers. This does not need to be here. There's a box that says Dicers, and for the longest time, that's what we all used. We plugged them in, we ran them through. It was annoying, but they worked very, very well. I don't want to have more stuff I got to remember to bring. So I would rather just bring a device that's capable of doing what I wanted to do without extra stuff. You know, if I'm making beats, if I'm like 69 beats and I'm like actually playing beats on the fly, absolutely get yourself a NanoPad or even, you know, I don't know. I'm thinking about bringing my push into some of my shows. But yeah, all those things. Absolutely. If I'm just DJing and I want to stem out or, you know, play a beat real quick, I can do that right on any device. Do you prefer the stems buttons versus the EQ assigning? Well, remember, the stems buttons, the stem EQ feature is a new thing for Serato, and it's only on 2 devices. Soon to be 3, but it's only on 2 devices. That's the Rain 4, that's the Rev 7. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can stem EQ the Flex 10, and I believe the Rev 5. But what I mean is, like, this is all new stuff. This wasn't there before. But to answer your question, yes and no. I like stem EQ. I also like regular EQ. And I think I might like regular EQ more than stem EQ. But as I said before, the way I would use stem EQ, I don't know that I would use stem EQ just for like flat out mixing. I just prefer the sound coming out of just a regular EQ sometimes, like an isolator. But I like to use stem EQ to bring back stems. So if I'm rocking a track, for instance,
Cleveland rocks.
not that.
Cleveland rocks.
So like if I'm using this one,
Cleveland rocks.
sorry, I'm still on scratch paint. So if I'm using this one, and then I bring in the acapella, when I'm bringing back this beat, I don't necessarily want to bring it in. I don't like to just bring it in and wait for the beat to come in. It'd be nice to slowly bring in the melody and the beat on the stem EQ. Like, for me, that's the way that I prefer to use it. But everybody's different, and I don't want to assume that my way is the better way or the right way or the wrong way. I don't think there is such thing. I think you're going to use it how you use it. But my biggest issue with stem EQ is, even with like virtual DJ and algorithm DJ, it's one or the other, and usually it requires, several steps to get to that. I would rather map like a stem EQ button somewhere for on a button I'm not using. That way I can activate it real quick, turn it off, turn it on. But that's just me. Everybody's different. But anytime I have to go to secondary, third page, I stop having an interest in it. Okay. All right, let's see here. By the way, if I missed any questions from the beginning, repost them because I can only see so much on the comment thread here. All right, Jimmy Melendez says, just bought a Rev 5, first controller, and new to all. Mac Pro or Air? I mean, that's up to you. The Rev 5 will work with either one of them. Obviously, the Mac Pro in general has better cooling. The processor, typically the same unless you upgrade to like, the middle processor. It's going to be faster. It's a faster computer. It won't have a better battery. We know that the Air has an amazing battery, but I'm a Mac Pro guy, MacBook Pro. That's what I use. And because I like having fans, I like having more USB-C options, and I like the display, and I like how powerful it is. I didn't say you couldn't use, I didn't say that. I said I don't like the fact that I have to switch through EQ, regular EQ and stem EQ. And it's not a really quick thing. That's what I'm talking about. And again, this is just a me thing. There's nothing to do with anybody else. But yes, I know you can use stems, EQ, and the pads, but I like having the regular EQ too. So, and I think, can you do that on the Rain 4 where you can, I know you can do it in virtual DJ where you can make the EQs for 3 and 4 be the stem EQ. I know that's the case, which is cool, which is very, very cool. That's a great like alternative to not having to switch between faders. Okay. Also, yeah, not from Cleveland, Jimmy. Yeah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And keep in mind, anytime you map, again, remember, sometimes when I say it's just what I do, you have to keep in mind, I am not your average person when it comes to gear. I go through gear all the time. So for me, I don't want to map everything over and over again every time. I want the buttons to just be there. I want things to just work. If you have one controller, map that shit to your heart's desire. Everything's filled up. You got it exactly how you want it. It's perfect. I don't have that luxury. I don't have the luxury. I mean, I do. I don't have that time, I guess is more important. I like to play Q buttons side by side instead of one on top of the other. All right, there you go. There you go. Okay, tips for getting booked in LA clubs. I'm from Palmdale, 1 hour away. Well, your distance doesn't matter. You have to just get out there. Nobody's going to book you if they don't know who you are. Nobody's going to book you if they don't see you at the events. Nobody's going to book you if they don't know the style that you do. Nobody's going to book you if they don't believe that you know the style that they want at the club. And the only way to see the style at the club is to go there. So those are my tips. Get out there, build some relationships, and then it's not an issue. You build some relationships, find the promoter, find the club owner or the bar owner, talk to them, go a couple of times, show them that you are willing to, not only that you're willing to DJ, obviously we know that, but the 1 hour drive is no big deal, and you're there, you're a big fan of the club. They're going to give you more privileges with that. Okay. Yeah. I mean, look, this is actually what hurt the S11, and the S11, in my opinion, is probably, it is 95% perfect, in my opinion, the S11. 95%, which for most people is more than enough. But there's some things on it that I wish that they would fix. There's some things on it that I don't think they're capable of fixing. For instance, on the S11, for me specifically, again, it's a me specific thing. The screen itself, as great as it is, all that stuff, you can move some stuff around if you know some sort of like HTML coding, but little things like the first page, the top two buttons are sync buttons, and you can't change that. Like I said, Ruben, if there's something that I missed, you got to repost it, because things are not, I can't go back to the original text, original questions. Ruben, come on, man. Give me some credit. So on the top of the S11, there's the sync buttons. I wanted those buttons to be silent Q. I wanted it to be silent Q. But there's no way of putting silent Q and replacing those buttons. It would have been great if they could have had some sort of a digital mapping, which allowed you to almost like, hit the edit button, and then all of those options, waveform, sync, you can touch the sync button, and then it gives you options on which you can change it to. It doesn't matter if you repost it, Ruben. I didn't see it. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can repost it 17 times. My screen is cut off. I cannot go back. So even if you reposted it 3 times, I can't see it. I'm sorry, Ruben. I'm one person. Hold on. Let me ask my producer. What? Oh, that's me. That's right. That's me. I don't have a producer. No, I'm not. I'm not going to compare lights. The reason why I'm not going to, let me back up. I'm going to compare lights, meaning I'm going to give reviews on multiple fixtures, but I'm not going to compare them because I don't think, first off, if I compare, hold on, let me see what we're talking about here. Hold on. Let me go here. Hold on. And then I'm going to say something that's going to shock everybody. Trio. Okay. All right. First off, all right. So Intimidator Trio. Similar, not the same, but similar. There are other lights I would compare more to the B-Topper than I would this one in particular. But this is the reason why I won't compare them. And it's very simple. This right here. This number. That's the reason why I won't compare them. I'm not going to compare a light that costs $300 with a light that costs $1,100. You know, that doesn't make sense. Like, it's not even something that it just doesn't make sense. It seems silly to me. Now, Chauvet is going to be Chauvet prices, and B-Topper is going to be B-Topper prices. One of the reasons is because, you know, Chauvet has a name by it, so they can charge more. There is a premium associated with their movers because it's Chauvet, and there's no way around that. Now, I will say this again. Let's see if they even have some. They show some video here. Yeah, here we go.
Interested in learning how to set up your moving heads. The first thing I want to do when setting up piece number 3 as slave 3 and obviously slave number 4.
Don't want sound just in case something is going to demonetize me. All right, let's see here. You don't need to see me doing that while I'm literally doing it. That looks weird. Okay, so look. I mean, but even then, we still have not. This video doesn't even show it. And why that would be on here makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, this just shows me nothing. Shows me absolutely nothing. Yeah, it's not the same. They're not the same light. They're not the same. They do similar features, but I also don't know the size of these. I don't know how big the actual mover is. I mean, I could look, but it's similar but different. And remember, like I just said, it's almost 4 times as much. So there's that. Anyway, so no, I will not be reviewing, and I don't have one. I mean, keep this in mind. I don't have every fixture. You know, if a company wants to send me a fixture, then that's great. But I mean, even the 60 that I just got, I bought the 60 on my own. And I'm not going to buy product just to review it. I'm not going to do that. For a couple of reasons. One, I'm hearing my dogs run out. One, I have a company. So when I buy things for the good of the company. You know, I don't just do this YouTube thing for a living. My real job is my company. That pays me a lot more than YouTube does. But okay, so let's see here. All right, it is 1530 channels. That's typical. It is 20 pounds. It's 15 inches high, 11 inches wide. Quad color RGB. The consumption is less wattage than the B-Topper. Interesting. Yeah, but it doesn't tell you the actual wattage. It doesn't tell you any of that. That's a Chauvet thing. They love to not tell you all the details. It is what it is. Okay. All right. You're still using the gig bar. So, DJ Lilo, I use all of my equipment, and it honestly all depends on the situation. Depends on the party. Depends on how much they pay. If I walk into a place and they're like, "Oh, we're doing a school dance and it's, you know, $500 and it's 40 kids." Well, I'm not bringing out my system. I'm going to bring my LDs out. I'm going to bring a gig bar move. Probably that's it. ILS, and call it a day. I probably wouldn't even bring my furniture. I'd bring like a Rev 5 and my fast set table and an engine, just cover it up. It just depends. But if they got a lot of money or if the party is very, very big, yeah, then I'm going to bring more stuff. Like this weekend, I'm at this place called the Smog Shop, which is in Culver City. I have Humpter stands. So I'm going to bring the Humpter stands. I'm going to use those. I'm going to bring the B-Toppers, and I'm going to bring the colorware 150s. I'm going to bring those two. So four movers. That's all I'm bringing. That's going to be more than enough. I am a big fan. I have not done a review. Rico, I produced music for a long time. I'm actually going to get back into it, but yes, I've done a lot in my life on this earth. Okay. Matthew says, having the trio as well, I'd say keep them if they give you the result you want. Resale value isn't great and you won't get much of an improvement with the new stuff. Yeah. I mean, look, there's something to be said for you pay for a name and then you get the quality behind the name. And that quality might be, you know, it can take a beating. It can last forever. And my Intimidator 350s that I bought 16 years ago still work. So, I mean, I have one or two that are a little sketchy. Maybe they don't turn as well, or they like to stop. The motor's like, I don't want to go. But in general, they work. My partner has some ADJs, and he had to buy a new mover because one of them just wasn't doing what it was supposed to. So he had to, he had to send it back to get fixed. But he's impatient, so he just buys a new one. It's my partner. Okay. What do I think of the Maui 11s? I think they're fine. I think LD makes great speakers. Would I use a Maui 11? Probably not. It's not enough volume for me. The 28 G3s to me are the bottom of the barrel as far as column arrays with LD. I think you go from the G3 28s up. I wouldn't go down personally for me. I mean, if you're doing like just background cocktail, you know, whatever, fine, but it's not a me thing. Okay. No, it's not a weed shop, Tim. It is it's called the Smog Shop because it literally was an automotive smog repair shop and they converted it into a venue. So it's an inside outside venue. A couple of things to note. They have their own sound system. You will not be able to bring your own sound system, so don't even try. You're going to plug right into them. And they have some XLRs typically on the floor next to the screen. You can go upstairs too. And I believe, we haven't been up there in a while, but they used to have plugs up there too. But you have to use their sound, which is adequate at best. People aren't booking the Smog Shop because of the sound system. They're booking because, oh, look, it's just kind of cool little venue. I don't love the Smog Shop. We were actually, my company was the first company to do a bar mitzvah there years ago. And it has been the exact same ever since we went there. They have not changed anything. But you know, it's a different vibe. It's definitely a different vibe. But yeah, no, you have to bring your deck and your front board and your table and you use their XLRs. Okay. Yes. I was trying to be nice, Keith. I was trying to be nice. Find the gear you're most comfortable with, and then that lets you do what you want and forget the rest. This goes from gear lighting. Yeah. So, and that's the thing, because remember, I'm always reviewing product. This is my most in-house systems. Yes and no. I mean, the Smog Shop just has an inadequate system for the size, and they're so concerned with the neighbors that they have serious limiters on all their stuff, so it sounds like trash if you try to push it. It's just old. It's just old stuff. I mean, I've been to several places where their speakers are great. I mean, especially if it's a newer venue and they go out and buy, you know, some JBLs or whatever that they throw up in the top. Even those ceiling ones are better. Why be nice? Why be nice? Because I'm not an asshole. We talked about this already. 2024. I'm not an asshole. Not an asshole. And for some people, and this is what I'm saying, it's not that the sound sucks, okay? It's that depending on the type of party you're doing, it sucks. If you're doing a cocktail party and you're just providing background music and you're there for, you know, speeches and stuff, it's more than fine. It's for the dancing people that the sound system sucks. And yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. Okay. How do you like the Humpter versus podium style stands? I assume we're talking just about the lighting stands, okay, and not the actual Humpter booth. Okay, so I have not used the Humpters out yet. I built them, made sure they worked, made sure I had all the pieces for them, but I'm going to use them this week, and I put a mover on there to make sure that it was going to be stable and we were good. What I like about the Humpter stands is, one, they're white, so it goes with my equipment. Two, they can carry an insane amount of weight. And that's the problem with a lot of these stands and trusses and all that stuff where, you know, they're just not very stable. And so they rock around, they move. I mean, even the one that Rick Webb just did. He just did a video on the gravity stands. He's like, yeah, you get this little adapter and you can do movers. Yeah, the gravity stands, the same thing with the flex stands from Chauvet. They're the same. Yeah, you can put a whole bunch of stuff on there. You can even put a speaker on there. I've put a speaker on there in an emergency when I totally forgot my trusses. I forgot my poles. And so I had to use the flex stand and then just not use the lighting. But even with that, they were moving a little more than I'd like, you know, and yes, you can use a mover on them, but if the mover's doing this, I I don't think that looks good. It's like, he's like, oh, it moves, but what doesn't? Like, well, normal things that have more stability, normal things that you can allow the weight to balance out properly. But I personally wouldn't use those for movers. I would use them for like projecting a projector, putting it up for like a gobo or video projection. I would use it for that. I would use it for, obviously lighting. I think it would have been better suited, because this is kind of on my mind, because I have the flex stand, which is essentially the gravity stand, is use the flex stand and then just get one of those pole cups that goes, speaker pole, and then the pole comes out, and then you can hang your movers. And I think hanging the two movers down would add more balance and more stability than just having a single one up top and it's top heavy, but that's just me though. Everybody's different. Okay. Okay. First off, we have a Humpter. I have not used it yet. I will use that Humpter booth on May 11th. My partner bought it for himself for his system. So I'm going to use it when he's in the Bay Area doing a bar mitzvah. So we're going to use that one on May 11th, and we will have the Humpter booth, the Humpter stands, maybe even some Maui 44Gs for that one, because he really wants the 44s. What I will say is very, very simple. It is a fine, basic looking booth. It's kind of boring. It's kind of plain, but plain and boring, there's nothing wrong with it if that's what you're looking for. So I don't have a problem with that. I'm trying to pull up the booth here. Where'd it go? I know I took a video and maybe I didn't. Thought I did. Okay. So, oh wait, there it is. Okay. So this is the booth. Come on. Why are we waiting to airdrop? Airdrop my stuff. Picture wasn't that big. Okay. All right. All right. So this booth right here, this is essentially the Humpter booth. That's right. This is the Humpter booth. This is also the bar booth. So there's the one thing that you're going to have to deal with, is seeing you look like everybody else. So it doesn't have a lot of personality, but it's fine. The podium stands are becoming played out, in my opinion. I don't agree whatsoever with that. Again, everybody's prerogative. Okay. If we're talking about podium stands, like we're talking about like the Danny Max booth, like the one that I use, the booth itself. If you're talking about that, I don't agree. And I don't agree because of a very simple thing. First off, again, DJs live in a very, very niche, small bubble reality. And we like to extend our bubble reality to the world. Okay. Oh, I'm tired of seeing them because I'm on IG. And then there's, every single DJ on IG has a podium stand, or, I personally don't like them. Whatever your answer may be, you're only seeing the top part of it. You're only seeing kind of the cream of the crop, or the people you follow, but in general, most people are not using furniture. They're not using podiums. Honestly, most people are not. Okay. So when we say they're played out for who? Most parties, most clients don't even see those podiums. So when they see them, it's a nice looking thing. And look, no matter how much you try to make it seem like, and I'm not talking about you specifically, but people, they make them seem like, oh, they're fad, they're dying out. There's nothing better looking than having a good looking piece of furniture in the party. And this is from a person that uses, furniture, facades, fast set tables, and even the Humpter booth, like all of these things. The better looking, the cleaner, the less stuff that people see, the more clients appreciate it. And even if they're played out, in your opinion, party planners want their stuff to look as good as possible. So I disagree. I think maybe we're going to get to a point where, most people will have them and it just becomes a standard, because like the facades were the standard. They're the standard. Facades are still the standard. And a lot of people don't even like facades. Facades have been around for decades. And they're still going strong. Furniture is more crap you got to set up and break down. Okay, let's talk about this for a minute, guys, because I think a lot of you guys are speaking from a point of, forgive the term, but of a point of ignorance. And I say that because I thought the same thing before I started using them. They are completely different than what our expectations are. So what I mean by that is, like, I have the Danny Max booth. I'm an ambassador of the Danny Max booths. When I first got it, I'm like, oh, that's just more cables and I got to run this stuff and I got to do this. No, you don't. There's 2 pieces. There's technically 4 in the Danny Max booth. There are 4 total pieces. They come in 2 cases. The 2 cases are the exact same size. If you were to bring like a glide rack, or you had a table, let's say you have an Odyssey table or a fast set table, and then you got your front board that's right on top, and then you have your actual DJ gear. All right. But after that, with the Danny Max stuff specifically, you have 1 case that is just your base and your, obviously, the pieces that hold up the deck. And then you have the deck in the second one. And literally, once you set the base up, which takes about a minute, put the base down, you put the 2 pieces in, clip, 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 and then you just pick up your entire top piece and you put it right on, you clip, clip. You pull your cords down, all the lighting's already built in. That's one thing less you have to do. Everything's already plugged in. The moment you plug it into the wall or your surge protector, everything's on. So I don't agree that it takes a long time. I think it's actually cleaner and easier to work if you take a little time in the front end and wire up your stuff correctly. It's easy. Now, I'm not saying that, using anything else can't be quicker. I'm just saying that I was wrong in my first assumption too. Because first I was like, I'll only use it for weddings. I will only use it for something, so and so, the high-end things, because I don't want to deal with all the stress. And then I started to use it and I started to realize it's actually easy. It's super easy. Now, again, this is for me. You do absolutely whatever your heart's desire. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, I just think that it's easier than people want to make it out to be. That's it. And there is some furniture out there that is more complicated. Like, I never liked furniture before you could build it. I didn't want to carry around a big ass. Now I got to bring a big ass, extended truck or a trailer just for my booth. I don't want that. No, thank you. No, thank you. But this is easy. I mean, I've even run into situations where I brought my booth and then there was no room, or they had something for me, and I've just set literally my top piece right on the table. Like, it's easy. And then because of the fronts, there's ports in the front. You can still run your cables out. It still looks clean to the person outside of it. So to each their own. I'm not trying to tell you what to do or what not to do. I'm just saying that, in general, it's very, very it's very easy, knowing that you always have an uplight underneath because it's just wired in, it's just, I don't know. To each their own. To each their own. We are lucky you don't need to carry a creative records around. Nothing wrong with setting up. Yeah. I mean, I think the best invention that they've come out with in the past, 20 years is the powered speakers, bringing around amp racks and heavy ass amp racks and big ass speakers and stuff. Like, I'm really happy that we've been able to get away from that. That was a nuisance. I still have like nightmare memories of having to throw my amp rack. I was running dual amped, QSC RMX 2450s and 4050 amps. If you guys know what I'm talking about, that shit is heavy. Put them in a single rack together, and then you have them in a rack flight case, which we know are generally heavy anyway. And then I had to go with a smaller case because I needed to have more room. Try putting that thing in a van without a ramp. It was a nightmare. I would wake up every Sunday like, oh yeah, I got to get a ramp. Man. I think people say what they say because of how much they cost. I mean, that's true. That's true. It's true. It's flat out is true. There's nothing we can do about that. Yeah, see, this is key. Matthew is absolutely right. It's an upsell. It's either an upsell for your business, or it is a confirmation that you're putting out a good product. And there's, again, nothing wrong with facades. Absolutely nothing wrong with facades. But it is a confirmation. That's the key. Because even if we think in the royal we, that it's a fad and it's dying away, there's not a single client out there that's like, hey, can you bring that one thing that looks like a garage door that you can cover up all of your equipment with, versus, hey, can you bring that furniture? Or, hey, you have that Hunter booth. There's nobody out there that's going to say, bring your facade over it. Not a single person, especially a party planner. Okay. Let's see here. Going back. I'm going mobile and I wanted to talk to you. Oh, that's a long conversation, Queso. One that we can't have today. I guess the question would be, I mean, it's a long conversation. A long conversation. And we could talk about it. Just not today, because I'm swamped today. Okay. All right, let's see here. Well, yeah, absolutely. If you're going to use, I mean, look, I'm I'm the same way. Where even with the Danny Max booth, I flat out told Danny, "You're crazy." He's like, "What do you want to do? You want to take your turntables?" I'm like, "Show me the case." And he pulled the case out. I'm like, "No, no. I am not putting my turntables on that." Now, if you're rocking a turntable setup, the Hunter is a better choice, in all honesty, because yes, you'll have more flight cases and a mixer case and all that stuff, but you have more flexibility. I would not bring a turntable case in a piece of furniture. I got away from coffins. I'm not going back to a coffin. This is as close to a coffin as I will come. It's close to a coffin. Anyway, okay. And by the way, Queso, thank you for the super chat. I will get back to you when I have a chance. All right, let's see here. Just bought my first set of PA speakers, JBL Eon 12. Should I run them through the DJ board or a mixed board and also wanted to get more highs but not lose on bass? Well, I mean, I know that people have been talking through there. If you're not running multiple microphones, you can run direct. I mean, the Eon 12 has its own EQ system, so it's in effect its own mixer. So you can go that route. Eon 12, that's what we're talking about, right? Am I right when I say the Eon 12? I want to make sure I'm not saying the wrong thing here. Eon 12. Oh no, they're a point source. Okay. So for a point source system, and I'm assuming you only have the tops and you're going to get the subs is kind of what I'm assuming that you're saying here. So from a high system, I mean, even the Eons have their own EQ built into them. So technically speaking, you don't need to have a mixer. I don't rock a mixer. Let me be clear about that. I don't rock a mixer, you know, and I don't rock a mixer because I'm not running multiple things out. And the quality of my controllers are good. So the microphone inputs in general, besides one or two that I don't use anymore, are always good. So I can just rock right off of there. But if you're rocking, somebody just asked me recently about, like, oh, I have a Numark Mixstream Go. You know, what else do I need? I said, you're going to need a mixer. You know, what do you mean? Because the output ports on it are not as powerful. So you're not going to get the quality of sound out of your speakers if you go direct with it. I've gone direct. It's for small little gigs where I'm not having to worry about, you know, pushing out an amazing amount of sound. But in general, you know, for stuff like that, it's better to have a mixer. You know, even the Denon Prime Go, as great as that is, technically, if you're going to use the mic and you're using the Denon Prime Go as like a dedicated main system, then you're going to need a mixer because the microphone is trash on the Denon Prime Go, absolute trash. So, you know, I mean, I guess you could technically run your microphone through like a Boss EQ box or something like that, and then run that directly into your mixer. That's an option. But in general, you're gonna need a mixer. You don't need a mixer for everything, but it just depends on what you're doing. And just the fact that people go through mixers, there's only one real reason to go through a mixer right off the top. And that is simple. If you are concerned with your controller or your computer dying. Obviously, if your computer dies, you still have aux on pretty much every single controller out there. So you can run a phone through while you're rebooting your computer or whatnot. But if your controller dies, you have no recourse. The only thing you can do is die with your controller. So having that mixer and feeding everything through the mixer, and then even having like a backup, maybe your Denon Prime goes on the floor or in your booth, just chilling there, and you have the XLRs already built in. And then when you're done, you just, oh no, something's going on. You pull up your board and you go from there, you know. Or if you run your computer dies, your board dies, and you have a headphone jack to XLR going outside, or RCA going outside of your computer, and then you can DJ in the box while you're trying to figure out, you know, what the hell's going on. And you still retain your microphone and you still have good sound. So there's a lot of options out there. You just have to figure out, you know, what you're doing. Ace says, how do you prefer to position CO2 jets on the ground? Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're using. I use a CO2 gun, so it doesn't matter where the canister is. I mean, usually it's got to be relatively close because, you know, the the tube only goes so far. But yeah, it doesn't really matter where you go. When you're running stuff like that, that's the one time where I think people don't care that there's a canister sitting right next to you, because they understand canister is required to get the job done. I saw one video where somebody had a canister and they bought the super large one. So we do the smaller one. So I think, what is it like? I want to say we do the half canister. I forget how much is in there, but essentially 2 of those half canisters will make a larger canister, and the larger canister is like this tall. All right. So, I mean, I'm 5'10", so it's like, you know, maybe 4.5, 5 feet. It's like 5 feet high. And I saw somebody have that canister, and it was like on a dolly, and it was just set to the side. And I thought, that looks a little tacky. So we prefer to do the two small ones and then just change out the tube because they're smaller footprint. It just looks better visually than having a big ass, you know, red and green canister, because all those ones, they don't make them looking good. So yeah, everybody's different though, to each their own. Okay. Let me go back down here. How much training goes into using a CO2 cannon? Bringing your potential rocket to a gig, it's actually not that big of a deal. And even if you had a bad seal on it, all you're going to get is a whole bunch of CO2 shooting out. It's not strong enough to just shoot off. You know, it's not going to go anywhere. So you're fine. Yeah, 25 gallon, 30 gallon, correct. I was going to say 30 gallon, but I'm like, God, it doesn't feel like that. Anyway. Are there safety concerns placing it on the ground? No, it's weighted. Remember, the tank itself is weighted. So even though you're filling it up, when the tank is empty, it's still heavy. So you're good. The seal is the most important part. It's just getting a proper seal. That's it. And it honestly, not that complicated. You know, it really isn't. I would say probably cold sparks are more complicated. We're still saying the same thing, upscale. Same concept. You can have an iPad, but if your computer dies, if your gear dies, you're still going to have to get something over. And that's where the mixer comes in. I think it's not about ease of setup. I'm just a fan of the look. Fair enough. I'll stick to table style booth versus a podium. Just roll it in and plug it in the power and go. No, for me, no. And there's only one reason. You're rolling it in. You're plugging it in means a big ass truck. I'm not into that. I'm not into big ass trailers. I'm not into big ass moving vans just to DJ. So for me, it's a no. For you, do your thing. I honestly believe that's why the Humpter booth is going to sell as well as it does, because there's a lot of people that have made or bought that one piece behemoth, and they're like, well, this is far more convenient. This is far less space that is needed, but to each their own. Again, you do what you want to do. Okay, let's see here. That's funny because the Rev 7 is actually heavier and I'm fine with it. But, you know, hit the weights. How far are we away from DJing an event without having to be there live in person, broadcast live from your house to your screen? Just curious if you guys think this is an idea. I think it can be done right now. I think people don't want that. It removes the entire point of DJing. Who's to say? I don't think it's going to go off the way people believe it is. And because I'm thinking like, especially during the pandemic, that was the thing. Like, oh, you know, these big name DJs can just stream from their studio or from whatever, and it'll just come up on the screen, and they'll have a little TV, closed circuit TV, which will show the people so they know exactly what's going on. And then I started thinking about it. What would be the enticement for people, regular people, to go to the club if the DJ that they wanted to see is not there? You know, I personally hope that it doesn't happen. I really do hope it doesn't happen. Hold on. Let me just text one person. Tell her I got to push it off 15 minutes and then we got to get off the call. Strauss. Let me just send this message. And then you get a little bit of a stay of execution before I get off, just so I can answer the remaining questions. Sometimes I bring up my Ring Central and I'm just like blind to what it is that it does. Message. Yeah, I'm on the messages. Where the hell is my other one? New message. Okay. Why is it in red? Invalid email address. See, this is the part I'm talking about. Where the hell are my text messages? Where'd they go? Anyway, okay. So while I'm doing that, I want to answer the rest of the questions. But I want to make sure that I'm not spending any more time than I need to. Huh. Well, that's cool. I did not know you could do that. Okay, email. Half a second, peeps. Half a second.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, thank you for answering the door. You guys available on July 1st? Yeah, we're available. Do you have a brochure I can take a look at? Here you go. This all looks good. Can you send me out a contract? Here's your contract. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, see here. Just go ahead and sign it and send it in your deposit. Okay. Are you gonna sign it? If you need to take some time, go ahead. Just send it in when you're ready. All right, thank you. Hey, sorry I took a little while, but I'm finally ready to sign the contract. So if you can just send me. Yeah, we are no longer available for that date. You're not available? Sorry. Well, can you recommend another DJ?
All right. So let's see here. That's hilarious, but that's true. Victor says, but aren't most people already looking through their phone while being at the event? Yes, they are. And the reason why they're looking through their phone or taking a selfie or anything like that is because it's about sharing the experience with the world. It's more of a flex. Hey, look at me. I'm here and David Guetta's right behind me and I'm taking a video. But if it's on a screen, who wants to see that? I can just open up, YouTube and watch him live and dance in my house. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be a thing. I don't think any DJs, world-class DJs, there's two reasons. One, they're going to get paid less and they like to make money. Okay. So, and there's the experience of the travel. DJs like to travel. They like to go to Vegas and they get their hotels comped and all their stuff and all the lavish stuff. You're not going to get that at home. Maybe if you get older and you just get tired, fine, maybe, but it's not for me. It's not for me. I still wouldn't do it. Okay. Especially when you can pick them up. All right, let's see here. I'm learning to scratch. The scratching, I don't know what that means. A DJ. Okay, so first off, I'm only going to speak to this almost universally. Okay, since I don't know what DJ means. This is what I will say. Everybody should know how to scratch a little bit. Okay. Even if you don't scratch, because the one thing that scratching will do, it will improve the speed and accuracy of your hands. So if I am on my deck and I'm ubit, drop on the one, scratching will help that. I've seen people that don't scratch and they're doing these baby scratch and it's like, ubit. And then the beat comes on, and then they just drop it and they're not on. If you learn how to scratch a little bit, it's going to improve your hands. That's the one thing I will say. Do you need to scratch to be a DJ? No, obviously not. Will scratching make you better in the long run? Yes. Do people sometimes overdo scratching and it can ruin a set? Absolutely. There is a happy medium for both of them, and you got to find that out. And you got to find out what you like. I know a lot of people that if it's a private event, and you're, beat juggling and scratching over everything and all that stuff, it's too much. If you're Scratch Bastard and somebody's coming to watch you perform, if you don't scratch, there's a problem, So it just depends on what you're trying to do. Just depends. It's all perspective. Okay. Yeah, title brought back stem separation. Yeah, you see what I was saying, guys, from the beginning? Yes, it's true. Do you need me to tell you it's true? Like, honestly, do you need me personally to tell you it's true? It's true. Title said it. Serato said it. It's true. Okay. All right, 2 p.m. and it's always a good day. Dizzy, thanks for hanging out today. Appreciate you. The MG mixer, the Yamaha mixer, is for the amount that it costs. And there are two of them. I prefer the one with the built-in effects. But it's a great mixer. It's a great mixer. I mean, up until I got my which one did I get? The Live Pro, the Live 8 from what was that, Tascam? That was my go-to mixer. It's just easy. It's so easy. Okay. Not sure why, says Keith, but why does the Rev 7 cost more than the Omnis? I'm super torn between both. I think somebody answered below, but yeah, the Omnis Duo is not remotely close to the Rev 7. They are two different things. And it literally is, apples in a car. Like they're not even in the same thing. Yeah, they play music, but the intentions of both are different. The Rev 7 has always been the controller for the turntable DJ. Guy that has turntables in an S11 or an S7 or S9 and wants something that he can take with him on a mobile perspective, or a guy that started out on turntables and then he sold them all. Now he wants to get back into DJing. So the Rev 7 is one of those options. That's the difference. The Omnis is, come on, it's a battery powered, smaller controller. It does things more. It does more things and it does less things all at the same time. So they're not the same. You can have both and be just fine. Honestly. I do remote parties like this. Yeah, you know that. It's so-and-so. Come on, man. We've all done remote parties. We all came through the pandemic. We all know how that is. That is not the real world. What do you need? You leaving? But you're coming back, right? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Bridget's coming here too. I think so. You might want to ask your mom. Oh, well, then go to dinner. Do your thing. All right. See you later. Goodbye. All right. Get out of here. I got to get on my show soon. Off my show. We all went through the pandemic. We all did live streaming. We all did corporate live streaming. And yes, it worked. But do not tell me it is the same. It is not the same. Nowhere near the same. It can work. But if people have the choice, have the literal choice, hey guys, either I can come to you and DJ with everything and be able to talk to you and read the crowd there, not just through a computer screen, if you can even see that, or I'm just going to DJ in my house. It's not the same. It's not the same. Not the same. It's fine, but it's not the same. All right. Anyone ever hear of Serato making their own tablet interface computer type thing instead of being a program? It's not going to happen. Serato Remote is the closest thing that's ever come to it. And from what I understand from the powers that be. I'm not naming names, but from what I understand is at one point there was a potential future for Serato Remote to turn into a full featured DJ software, and it just didn't happen. So I don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, I think that I think DJ is an anomaly. And don't get me wrong, the future is in the iPads and in low, tablet style DJing and stuff like that. Like that is the future. That is for sure. But I don't think Serato will make the jump unless Virtual DJ makes the jump. If Virtual DJ comes out with a true dedicated iPad software, not just a remote, not just that, but an actual iPad software that you can DJ on, I think things will change. I think things will change. Okay. I still have Serato Remote. Like when I look at my phone, if I type in Serato, look, it's still on my computer. I mean, on my phone. It's still there. Oh man. And I know I should delete it. I can't. I just love the fact that it's there. Let's see. Connect with USB. Wasn't set up wireless. Where is my wireless? Oh, it's not on my computer and the plugins. Hold on, let me see if it's there. I don't even have it as an option right now. Oh, there it is. Serato Remote. Okay. Activate remote. Anyway, activate. Serato Remote could have been really, really good. It totally could have been really good. It just, I don't know. They botched that one. So what happened to Serato Pyro? Well, nobody wanted it. I'm still trying to figure out why Serato Pyro, why they didn't bring the feature set of Serato Pyro to Serato DJ in autoplay. I'm still trying to understand that. Because nobody really asked for Serato Pyro, but they wanted autoplay to be better. So it's weird to me that they never integrated that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. But there's no virtual DJ in Virtual DJ Remote. It is a stopgap. You're still required to use Virtual DJ on the computer. The computer can be off to the side, but you're still required to use the computer version. That's what I'm saying. So it's still the same thing. It's still a remote. I don't want a remote. I want it to be on the computer. Sometimes I feel like you guys hear me and then you already have your own like agenda, your own mindset made up to argue with me. I never said that Virtual DJ did not have a remote. I said there's no dedicated software that runs it specifically. Come on, guys. Keep up. Okay. Did you ever, oh, I'm sorry. Algorithm DJ still has not created a mapping. No, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. I don't know what's going on with Algorithm DJ. I don't know. So my answer is, I don't know. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the Mixon 8. The Mixon 8 is not theirs. Mixon 8 is Reloop. They just have a partnership with them. But that doesn't change anything. They still sell products. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot of products right now that need a mapping that still don't have one. So I don't know. I don't know if it's it's definitely a priority thing, but I don't know if they're kind of picking and choosing. Like, for instance, when the Rain Performer comes out, I have a feeling that Rain Performer will get a mapping relatively quickly. I don't know why there's no mapping for the Rev 5. I don't know why there's no mapping for the T7. I don't understand them. I don't understand them. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Did you ever use the Roland controller with the built-in 808? Think this idea will return? In some capacity, yes. I did use the Roland. I don't like green, so it was never going to be a controller that I was going to use all the time. I just don't like green, so there's that. I believe that it'll make a comeback. I believe that drum machines are a part of DJing, and I think it'll come. I just don't know when, and I don't know by who. What's the latest quality wireless handheld microphone? There's no such thing. They're all good. They're all good. If I mean, Shure, Sennheiser, Phoenix, even their higher end microphones. I haven't had a bad microphone in a long, long time. Okay. And by the way, this thing, I know you said there's an update, but yeah, you could always do this. You could always trigger your tracks while you're making announcements. Like, I could be walking around, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Bam, hit the song and you're on to the next thing. You could always do that with virtual DJ. Ahead of its time, virtual DJ. It's always been ahead of its time. Yes, well, still. Okay, last couple of questions. Groovemaster, I need to start streaming. What's the best way to start streaming from home? What equipment do I need in terms of software? I got a DDJ 1000 SRT, a Tascam US 800 mic, and an amp. Okay. You don't need much. You can the cheapest way to go. And the 1000. The only problem with the 1000 is the audio card for the output is on the higher levels. So you have to be specific on what you're using it on. It's almost better to go through a dedicated mixer, even like, this one, or again, you can use the Yamaha, the MGs or the Live 8, they'll all work, and then run your audio through that and then send the audio from the mixer to the software. The software, OBS, free. StreamYard's free, but you just have to keep their badges everywhere. That's probably the easiest way. Is if you don't have a computer strong enough to run it, I would say run like a StreamYard. It's just easier, and it's pretty straightforward. But if you have a computer that's good enough, OBS is free. You just need to run your stuff into your computer, which means you need to either have a hub or something, or you're just running your one audio cord and one camera cord. You're going to need potentially, although a lot of the cameras nowadays have a USB pass through, which allows you to do like a 720 or a 1080p pass through instead of going HDMI. So you don't even need to have like a capture card, like one of these. You don't have to run those. You can run it right out of your USB. So you got a lot of options, and it's actually pretty affordable. I have some streaming tips in my videos. In my playlist, there's a streaming 101. It's older, but it's still the same. It still does the job. So check that out and go from there. Rekordbox Mobile needs a full version of the iPad. Yes, agreed. Agreed, Keith. Rev 1 is a beast. It's a good controller. It's a good controller. All right, let's see. Anything else here? How do I get booked? Oh, I already answered that one. Already answered that. I just started doing weddings. I use the X5 wireless unit. What are your thoughts on the X5 for weddings? DJ Eric, first off, follow me on IG. That is just at Cleveland Terry _ because I literally just posted a video about the fact that I was using. The X5s are great. Obviously, you just want to make sure anytime you're using the X5s that you have a good line of sight, a clean line of sight, and that the actual devices are visible. Because obviously with the speaker, you know, typically they're in the back of the speaker, and if you're, you know, here, and then say the speakers are here and here, and they're turned and they're kind of facing you, well, you're not going to see the X5. Okay. So the trick is simple trick. Get yourself some 1 foot to 18 inches XLR cords, and then run those out of the box, your speaker, up to the top where you're going to feed your X5 right up top. So that way where you are, and you can see both of them or one of them, whatever you're using. That's the easiest way. You're going to get a better line of sight. It's going to be above people's heads. So if there's bodies walking through, it's not getting in the way and messing with your frequencies. So that's the tip I will give you. But yes, I use them all the time. Do you think a powered DJ controller sounds better than a USB powered controller? Yes. Yes, I do. And there's actual proof to it. For instance, Rev 1 right here, Flex 4. If I plug in my Flex 4 or my Rain 1, I have to adjust the buffer, or you'll get audio glitches. Now, there's nothing wrong with my computer. It's a MacBook Pro, you know, M1 Pro, nothing wrong with it. It's just pulling more resources than a powered system will. So absolutely. Title, greedy bastards need an extension to use stems. I'm done with them. Beat source. Okay. It's not, I wouldn't call them greedy bastards. First off, they're not greedy. They're a company. They're a business. Their job is not to help you. So, okay. I don't have a lot of time. I got like 5 minutes and then I have to go. Here's the thing I will say. So for instance, I was watching the Tweak Music Tips interview with the CEO of Twitch yesterday. And he was talking about, you know, the impact that DJs have and how it's been great and everything. And Kova asked a very simple question. You know, what percentage do we make for the streaming market? Like, what's our breakout compared to video streamers and music streamers and, you know, musicians and all that stuff? You know what he said? 0.4%. 0.4%. What that means is we're not as important as people think we are. And everybody's out here screaming at Tidal. Tidal doesn't give a shit about you DJs. They don't care. They don't care. Neither does Apple Music. You know, neither does Spotify or SoundCloud. They don't care. So if they're going to be inconvenienced, they're going to make you pay. And who knows what contract, what legalese they had to do to make streaming and stems a viable option for the company. Remember, Tidal's a middleman, okay? So it could have been where the labels were like, if you're going to do stems, you're going to need to pay us more. And then they were like, well, I guess we got to pass that on to the customers. More importantly, the customers that want it. Not everybody wants stems. Their regular customers do not give a shit about stems. So it's not Tidal per se. It's not them being greedy. It's a business. If you were doing a party, right? If you're doing a party and your client comes up and says, hey, you know what? I need you to do video montage for me on my parties from now on. You're like, okay, cool. So here's your charge for me doing video. Oh, wait. What do you mean charge? No. I just want you to do it for me now. just do it. It's no big deal. Just do it. And you'd be like, no, this is going to take more time out of my hand. It's going to take more time, me bringing the equipment. It's more work involved. No, you're going to pay me for it. Why is it that Tidal doesn't get paid for it? And I'm not pro business, but sometimes we as DJs believe that we have far more power than we do. We don't. We are a niche community. We got to step back a little bit. That's all. All right. Again, Tim, it's not a you thing. So don't think I'm coming at you. This is oh my God, I see this all over the internet. Idea sharing, even when they announced it through Serato, half the comments on there are like, why are you charging Serato? Why are you charging us more to use Tidal stems? They're not. Tidal was already doing it. Guys, Tidal was not doing it. You guys. Tidal, SoundCloud, BeatSource, none of them were doing it. Okay? This is a misunderstanding. None of them were doing it. All the things that we have right now, stems, virtual DJ, algorithm DJ, all of these things were things that the other companies created to get to stems. Tidal did not come up with stems. Neither did SoundCloud, neither did Apple Music. None of them did. So this is a direct reaction to the things that we have put in place, that the DJ companies, the software companies have put out there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So yes, they might have allowed it to happen until the labels were like, "Hey man, we're not going to allow you to use stems. If you're going to allow these people to use stems, you got to pay us more." And Tidal was like, "Well, I'm not going to take that money on. Fine, DJs do it." We have to take a step back, DJs. We have to realize that there is a bigger picture than this. It's not that it worked. You guys, Tim, you're arguing a point that is irrelevant to what I'm saying. I'm saying that does not matter that they were doing it before. Tidal was not doing it before. Serato was doing it before. Virtual DJ was doing it before. Algorithm DJ was doing it before. Tidal's just reacting to what these companies did. You cannot blame Tidal. Now, you want to say, fine, they charged $9, they could have charged less, they didn't have to charge anything? Sure, okay. But people are blaming the wrong people here. They're blaming the wrong people. And it's my job to educate everybody instead of attacking Tidal. You guys should be attacking in reality, but you can't even attack them. You want to attack Serato, but you can't, because they're the ones that gave you this great thing where you can use stems and virtual DJ, where you could use stems, which has opened up the door for all of us DJs. But if I learned, I'm a business, right? And I learned that somebody found a loophole in my processes and allowed them to do something that I know I could be monetizing, you better damn well believe I'm gonna tell these people, hey, that's not in our contract, right? What you're doing is not in our contract. So if you want to use it, you got to pay more. Oh, you don't want to pay more? Fine, we're going to pass it on to your clients. Oh, you're okay with that? Cool. Who told them? The world told them. So that's all I'm saying. And Tim, I'm not coming at you directly, okay? Because I know the train of thought that you have right now is exactly the way a lot of DJs feel. A lot of DJs. So I'm just showing you a different perspective on it. And again, not pro business. There's a lot of things out there right now that you can use to either strip away music or download music for free, like all of these things. So I'm not saying don't do what you got to do. Trust me, I do the same thing sometimes. But we just have to be realistic about it. It's okay. Reyes, thank you for the super chat, along with Grand Stam, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you all for participating. It makes my job a lot easier to come and turn this thing on and start streaming. Thank you. Now, there's no need for that. Yep, exactly, which is what I said, but it's yeah. Does DJ Pro support stems in Apple Music? You know what? That's a good question. I believe I tested it before, and I thought they did, but let me see here. And then I'm gonna have to get out of here. Let's see here. Actually, I can go right over. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. My bad. Okay. I'm going to hear it on mine first. Why can't I hear anything? All right, let's see here. There's your answer. There you go. So the answer is no. But you see what I'm saying here. I mean, Apple Music came on already educated in what these DJs are trying to do with it. So they were like, nope, you can't use stems. If you use stems, that's going to factor in more. We're going to have to pay more money for it, or we're going to be in breach of our own contracts with these labels. So we're just going to say no. That's how it works, people. Okay. As a long-time DJ looking to get into content creation, is it worth it? I don't know. I can't answer that for you. Honestly, I can't answer that for you. I have no idea. You will have to figure out if it's, I don't know. I don't know what worth it means, because worth it could mean different things for different people. You know, some people, just to be a little more popular, is worth it. For some people, the gear is worth it, you know, but people don't realize the long hours that it takes, especially if you are like a working person and maybe you own a DJ company, or you have a part-time job and own a DJ company and you're doing YouTube. Like, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time to do that. So, is it worth it for me? Well, I like helping people. So yes, it is absolutely worth it for me. I've always been a gearhead, so I like receiving, you know, gear and new gear and testing stuff out. I'd like to think that I'm pretty decent at it, at doing reviews and really kind of finding out the things that I think people want to know about said product. So yeah, it's worth it for me. Does it get hard? Absolutely. Does it take a lot of time? Absolutely. Am I behind on projects right now? Absolutely. But it's worth it to me. But everybody's different. You know, there's a lot of things you have to realize. You know, a lot of product you don't get to keep. So now you have I have a bedroom full of boxes. So, there's that too. Space is an issue. Anyway, to each their own. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. I believe Tim gave me the $2 super chat. That's like, you know, when you go to a restaurant and you hate the service, and let's say the bill was, you know, $80, right? And normally, you know, maybe you'd give them $12 for the service or whatnot, you know, whatever. But then you give them like $2. That's like, you know what? I didn't like anything you did. And I want you to realize by me giving you this $2 that I didn't like anything that you did. Principle. It's principle. I'm going to tip because I have to tip because that's what you do. But $2, I want you to reflect on that $2, man. Have I ever tested the rain forward moving platters? Yes, Joseph. Yes, I have. And that's all I will say. Okay. Let's see here. No Nicki tracks using Meg's beats created and DJ using it. Oh, so there you go. See, so there are limitations. There's absolute limitations. All right. I'm still not paying. It still works on BeatSource. So yeah, here's the thing I will say about BeatSource. Only one thing, because I've always said BeatSource and Tidal kind of work hand in hand. Like you kind of need both of them because there's a lot of music that BeatSource doesn't have. You know, it's just flat out. There's just certain things they don't have. So I've been forced on several occasions to go to Tidal. Yeah. Is it improving? Yes, but it's not. I have never looked for a song on Tidal and not found it ever. I've had that happen plenty of times with BeatSource. So, you know, there is a trade-off there. Definitely a trade-off. Okay. Why can't standalone controller manufacturers offer Serato in their controllers? What do you mean? They do. Pretty much all of the engine ones support Serato. Rekordbox Pioneer supports Serato. So not sure. I mean, there was a couple, you know, Prime Go doesn't support Serato. That was by choice. That had nothing to do with Serato per se. That was a in music choice. Because obviously the Prime 4 works with it. The SC Live works with it. The Mixstream Pro works with it. So I don't know that that's correct. Okay. Oh, no laptop Serato? Well, because come on, guys. It's not just like, oh, let me just put Serato in the box. Like that's a whole new build. That's a whole nother software. And I don't believe there's really no incentive for Serato to put Serato in the box in its current form. Maybe if the sale goes through with Rekordbox and, you know, people are using CDJs and all that stuff, maybe there will be an update and you will be allowed to use Rekordbox on Serato on your CDJs natively. Maybe. But right now, So if I happen to stop by your house, can I see the Rain 4 with moving platters? I mean, theoretically. But you're not coming to my house. But yes, theoretically. Anyway, okay. That's it for me, folks. What a great show. Can you Mixboard? I think we talked about that already in the show. Just roll back. Yeah, no worries, Tim. No worries at all. Okay, why do you want to stop by this? Do you think they will just flex him for Serato users instead of Rekordbox showing on the faceplate? Are you sure on the faceplate? Are we talking about on the jogs? Because can't you change that? You might be able to change that. Through the panning. Okay. When is the next DJ Expo? Seriously? It's always the same. DJ Expos are in August. They're always in August. So I will be there in August. I will be in Pittsburgh in 2 weeks. So if anybody lives around Pittsburgh, let's meet up. Let's have fun and let's get together. So Pittsburgh. Don't ask me any more information. I just know I'm in Pittsburgh. All right. I do have to roll. I got to get on this thing. I'm sure we all have parties this weekend and we know the deal. Have great parties. And I will see you guys next Thursday, potentially on Tuesday. I might be on Twitch on Tuesday, but at a minimum, I'm going to be obviously here on Thursdays and more videos are coming out. That is my thing. I'm trying to clear the task list this week. So I'm going to be back in the office today, shooting another light video. I'm going to do the color key video. I'm going to do the Chevet Command ILS video. And I think I'm going to do the Chevet 60 Intimidator video. I think I'm going to do it. I wasn't sure I wanted to do it, but I think I'm going to do the 60 before I do the Command ILS. So then I can talk about that more. All right. Anyway, got to run, people. Have a great day. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. See you soon. Peace out.